Does anyone remember where we stopped last time?
About the degrees of taking Rukhsa.
The degrees of taking the Rukhsa, yes. And what is the Rukhsa again? Bismillah.
The permit.
The ease.
I mean, ease, yeah. You have that you can choose to do it, and if you don't do it, don't harm it.
Okay.
But in method to take
Rukhsa, we have to understand what is Rukhsa first. Rukhsa, if it's in the Sharia, the saying of the Prophet, is something that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given, a permission that Allah has given. So, you have a Rukhsa, for example, if you are traveling, to pray, to shorten the prayer. If you are traveling or sick, not to fast. That is what we call Rukhsa here. That is what we can refer to Rukhsa. Not the time when you are in necessity. Really, when you are in necessity. And for example, someone is hungry and he couldn't find something which is halal to eat. That is, we don't call that Rukhsa. Yes, someone who is unable to do something. Someone is unable to pray while standing because he can't stand. That is, we don't call it Rukhsa. You understand? That is, the Rukhsa, the way the Prophet has defined it, is something, a permission, something where you have a permission to do something with a choice as well. You have the choice to not take it, or you have the choice to take it. Such as, we pray normally 4 rak'ah, Dhuhr and Asr and Isha. And if you are traveling, then you can make it 2. But if you want to pray 4, you still can pray 4. Yes? If you are sick, you have the permission to not to fast in Ramadan. Now, if you want to fast anyway, you can fast, as long as you are not going to hurt yourself. If you are going to hurt yourself, then it's definitely haram. That will become not Rukhsa then, it will become Azeema. Because that will be the concept. Now, also, for the traveler. For traveler has the choice whether to fast or not to fast. So that is the Rukhsa. In the talk of the Fuqaha, when they speak Rukhsa, they mean anything which is easy. Yeah? And then sometimes, and actually they claim that the Prophet, the Sahaba, when the Sahaba say Rukhsa, they mean something that has been abrogated.
Yeah.
You see, if the Sahabi say, we have been given Rukhsa to listen to music in wedding. Now, automatically, the Fuqaha will say, we don't need a proof here to say that music is haram. The fact that he has said, we have been given Rukhsa, that's clearly that before that it was haram to play it, and then he gave them Rukhsa to play in specific day or specific occasion. You understand this? So you will come across many places where the Sahabi, he will say Rukhsa, this is the Rukhsa, and then straight away they will make a claim that this thing was haram before. For example, رخص رسول الله في العراية, that the Prophet have given Rukhsa that someone will sell his dates. You see, selling dates for dates is forbidden. Selling dates for dates, you know this, it's forbidden. Like the dates for dates, yeah. Okay. I have dates which you like. You have the dates that I like.
So it's kind of swap.
So swapping them, it is not haram, like we can't do it. No, we can do it. But it has to be measure for measure.
Okay, no, as in one is better quality.
Yes, so it has to be same measure. I can't give you 2 kilos for 1 kilo. And I can't give you dates now to give me later. It has to be then and there, same measure for 6 things. Dates, barley, wheat, salt, gold, and silver. 6 things. Now, 6 things. We don't remember this hadith of Sa'id Khudri. dates, barley.
Dates, salt, barley.
Yes, that is the 6 things that the Prophet said that you should not sell except hand for hand and measure for measure. Now, there is another hadith that says that the Prophet has given permission for araya, like within 5 awsuq. If the 5 awsuq is the measure of today will be 300 something kilos. So he said that the Prophet has given this permission that someone will sell dates for rotab, what we call dates and rotab. Dates is the dry one when they dry, but rotab is when they are what we call the rotab is when they are still moist. Yeah. So when they are still like that, that is the hadith comes that the Prophet has given permission that people can sell them, like someone will take from someone the moist dates and then give him later. Regardless of the hadith now being valid or invalid, it comes in the hadith, the Fuqaha will say, this is, look, clearly, first it was haram, and then the Sahabi said, the Prophet have given us Rukhsa, which shows that it was later. Now, this is one example that they will use, and then they will, every time they find Rukhsa, they say, we don't need to see that it has been forbidden before. It means that it was forbidden. It's clear that it was forbidden. And that is not true. Because we have to understand, before you understand someone, you have to understand his language. When the Prophet speaks, he speaks in the perfect Arabic language. So every word he says, we have to take it according to the Arabic language. Yeah? Unless he defines it otherwise. So the word Rukhsa normally in the Arabic language means easy. Rakhis, easy, something that is easy to get or something easy to do. However, the Prophet has defined the Rukhsa here in a different way. When a man came to the Prophet and said that after the ayah was revealed that you don't have to fast, that if you are in trouble, then you have to count the days and do them in another time, if you are sick in Ramadan. When this ayah was revealed, a man came to the Prophet called Amr ibn Hamza al-Aslami. He came to the Prophet and said, sometime I am traveling and it will be easier for me to fast. The ayah says you have to fast. If you are traveling or sick, then delay the fasting. So this man came to the Prophet and said, it will be easier for me to fast while I am in Ramadan. Yeah, while in Ramadan, traveling in Ramadan, rather than delay it after Ramadan. The Prophet then he said, "Ya Rukhsa min Allah." This is a permission from Allah. It's not like Azeema. It's like you have to do it this way. Now he said, "Ya Rukhsa min Allah," and then he said defined what is this Azeema. He said, فَمَنْ أَخَذَ بِهَا فَقَدْ أَحْسَنَ. Whoever takes it, he has done good. Whoever doesn't want to, فَلَا حَرَجَ عَلَيْهِ. There is no harm. So that is the definition of Rukhsa when the Prophet says. Now, the Sahaba, do we have to give them the same degree here? And do we have to say that every Sahabi understand this or have heard about this hadith or understand this? You have to, you have to find the proof for that. You have to say that if you say, oh, Aisha knew about this, or Aisha knew about this definition, or Ibn Mas'ud, or Abdullah ibn Amr ibn al-As, these are the Sahaba. So when they use this word, what are they going to mean by it? Now the Fuqaha make this claim that they mean that something was forbidden before, such as it was forbidden for people to not to fast in Ramadan in any case, and then Allah gave them permission while traveling. So this claim here is baseless. It has no basis. You understand? It's just someone made a claim. Why we know that? I give you examples now to say that it is not true that Rukhsa, the Sahaba means by it that it's something that has been abrogated before. So something that has been obligation or haram and then it was safe. We take the hadith of Aisha Hadith of Aisha, which is in Bukhari, that the Prophet have done something and has taken the easy option. So the Prophet have done عملا, the Prophet have done something, فترخص فيه. He has taken the easiest option. I am defining it as the easiest option. They will probably say something different. That's how I understand what she says. That he has taken the easy option. And then some Sahaba said, oh, we are not like the Prophet. The Prophet, Allah has forgiven him everything. So they want to take the hardest option. Here, did Aisha mean that the Prophet has, is she talking about the Rukhsa? Does it look like she is talking about the Rukhsa that the Fuqaha understand? It doesn't. It's like someone choosing between two options. You see, praying Isha after when the time starts. That is halal. It's fine to pray Isha when time starts. But also, it is better to pray, to delay it until the midnight.
But does it finish at midnight? Okay.
No, until midnight, meaning just before midnight prayer.
It's better.
It's better to delay it. Now, to delay, that is better. But if you pray at the beginning, that will be taking the easiest option, which is still fine. Now here, the Sahaba will say, you have taken the Rukhsa. It doesn't mean that is the Rukhsa the way we have spoken about it. You understand?
Yeah.
So that is the Rukhsa, is to take the easiest option, even though it is still fine to do it. It has not been, before it wasn't haram to pray at the beginning. It was always halal to pray at the beginning. That's the hadith of Aisha.
But it's rukhsa.
Rukhsa.
Because you can do it or you cannot do it. So if you like, you can pray in the beginning.
If you can.
But it's preferable to pray at the end.
It's preferable to pray at the end. Yeah, but the way some people have said, it was like, it will look like it was forbidden to pray before, at the beginning, and then it changed later. Now let me give you another example. Abdullah bin Amr bin al-As. With the Prophet, Abdullah bin Amr bin al-As said he was fasting every day. And then the Prophet heard about it. He called him and he ordered him to fast 3 days a month. Like if you want, fast 3 days a month rather than every day. He insisted that he will fast more. So the Prophet started adding 5, 7, 9, until at the end he said, okay, fast 1 day and don't fast 1 day. So like 1. And then he insisted. Then the Prophet said, there is no more than this. You can't do more than this. Like, you have no, it's not like a choice or something. That is the maximum you can do.
One day fast, one day not.
Yes,
that's the maximum.
That is the maximum. So when he said this, when Abdullah bin Amr bin al-As said, the Prophet told him this, what happened? When the Prophet told him this, he did choose the hard option to fast 1 day and not to fast another day. Even though at the beginning he gave him the choice of 3 days.
Any 3 days.
Yeah, any 3 days. Now, after the Prophet died, he lived. He became an old man. He didn't want to stop something that he used to do. And then he said this, I wish that I have taken the Rukhsa of the Prophet. Do you see from this hadith that it was an obligation for him to fast every day? And then when the Prophet told him, gave him permission, that means he was taking the Rukhsa. You understand? But because if you understand it that way, that Rukhsa is something that comes after abrogation of something which is obligation or haram, then we understand, okay, so it was at the beginning obligation for him to fast every day, or 1 day, no 1 day, and then the Prophet gave him the option to choose the Rukhsa of 3 days, but he refused it. That has nothing. This is fine to do, this is fine to do, and you have actually the choice.
Free choice.
Yeah, all of them you can't even not do it, but still he refers to it as a Rukhsa. So that is definitely talks like the Prophet, like the Sahabi here, uses the Rukhsa, the word Rukhsa, in a different meaning. So we have to, when you try to take hukm, you have to understand the person's language, what he means when he talks. We have hadith from Ibn Mas'ud in Bukhari as well stated. Ibn Mas'ud was told about a woman. You see, the Quran says if a woman husband dies, then she has to wait for 4 months and 10 days mourning. So this is what the Quran says. Also, the Quran says if a woman is pregnant and she delivers the baby, then she can marry as soon as she has delivered the baby. So one ayah says if a woman husband dies, she has to wait 4 months and 10 days before she can marry. The other ayah says if a woman husband dies and she is pregnant, then she has to wait until she delivers the baby. Delivering the baby sometimes can last. Let's say a woman has conceived the baby straight away, husband died, she has to wait probably for 9 months until she delivers the baby. In this 9 months she can't marry. But let's say she was pregnant, she heard about the death of her husband, from the shock she lost the baby, finished. She can marry straight away because she has lost the baby, finished. She has delivered, because Allah says, وَأُولَاتِ الْأَحْمَالِ أَجَلُهُنَّ نَضَعْنَ حَمْلَهُنَّ. The woman in their pregnancy, their limit is to deliver what they have, their load. And this woman, she has delivered the load, so it's fine. She can marry. Even after 1 second, 1 hour, doesn't matter. Now, when it looks like there is a contradiction. Now, a woman, one ayah tell her 4 months, 10 days, one ayah tell her a straight after. So a woman who is, what should the woman do? The hadith of the Prophet clearly shows that women who are pregnant do not come under this general ayah that speaks about 4 months and 10 days. That is special just for the women who are not pregnant actually. Those who are pregnant can have to look at the delivery of the baby, of the child. That is clear from the hadith of the Prophet, which is now in Bukhari. Now, when Ibn Mas'ud was asked about this, now the Sahaba declared, Ibn Mas'ud, Ibn Abbas, for example, said, if a woman delivers a baby in 4 months and 10 days, within 4 months and 10 days, she has to wait until 4 months and 10 days. Like, if a woman before 4 months and 10 days delivers the baby, she has to wait to 4 months and 10 days. But if she doesn't, if the 4 months and 10 days passes before she delivers the baby, she has to look at the delivery of the baby. So sometimes, so that is what Ibn Abbas used to say. He used to say she has to wait for the longest period. So if the longest period is the pregnancy, she has to take that. If the shortest period is the pregnancy, she has to go at the other. You understand what? Ibn Mas'ud said, why do you make for her? Why do you give her? Why don't you give her the rukhsa? You understand? Why do you make the hardest one on her? Why don't you give her the rukhsa? Does it look like a rukhsa here? Something that has been abrogated or? It just like the easy option. There is 2 options: one easy, one strong, one difficult. So here you say, why do you are trying to give her the hard one? You understand? So you can see that from his language, from his the way he understands rukhsa, is something has totally different from the way the Fuqaha understand. So it's not fine that someone comes to the hadith, Sahabi saying this is rukhsa, and then from there he gather or he come to the conclusion that actually this was haram before. Some people will come to this hadith and say like this, Sahabi was asked, someone saw a Sahaba listening to music. So he said, you are the companions of the Prophet and you listen to music. He said, the Prophet has given us permission in the wedding, to listen in the wedding. Does it mean that when it's not a wedding, it's haram? Because this is how people understand it.
But, okay, you say that, but then someone could say, well, what does it mean that it's easy to listen to it in a wedding?
No, that is not easy to listen to the music. It is the easiest option. Huh? There is an option which is hard for people. Every time you tell people this is haram, that is a difficult option. It's easy option when it is halal, so they have the choice. When it is halal, you can do it, you cannot do it. But when you say this is haram, this is a difficult option. So that is the rukhsa, and this is not the Azeema.
So he said we've been given the rukhsa to listen to in the wedding.
Well, that is what he said. He said you have been given the rukhsa to listen to the wedding, in the wedding.
In general.
Yeah, he was given the rukhsa to listen to the wedding. Now, that's what I'm trying to talk about. Does it mean that is haram before? Because rukhsa is the choice between two options. It doesn't mean that the other option is haram. That's what I'm trying to explain. Because if even, let's just take this hadith here, because this hadith, he says two things. He says we have been given rukhsa to listen to the music in the wedding, and we have been given rukhsa to cry without wailing. When was crying haram? When someone starts shouting,
that's haram though, isn't it?
Yeah, but we have been given the rukhsa to cry without wailing. So that means crying was haram before, and then we have been given the rukhsa to cry without wailing. Yeah, that is what I'm saying, that is different, totally different rukhsa. I'm not talking about the rukhsa that Sahaba call rukhsa.
No, it's better.
Yeah, it is better to take it. Yeah, it is better to take it. Now, we stopped last week about darajat akhd al-rukhas, the degrees of taking the rukhsa. You say taking the rukhas can differ. Sometimes it's mubah, it's halal to take it. Sometimes it is mustahab to take it. It's better to take it. Sometimes it's an obligation to take it.
Does an obligation go to Azeema?
That's what I'm saying. That's what he says. He says taking the rukhsa sometimes is mubah.
Okay.
Sometimes is mustahab. Sometimes is an obligation. Sometimes is just preferable. Sometimes is fine, you can do it, or you have the choice. Like, there is no preferences. You take it or you don't take it. Sometimes it's better to take it, sometimes it's an obligation to take it. That's what he says.
Okay.
That will go against the definition of the Prophet. That's why he says that it's better to take the rukhsa. Isn't it? The hadith of the Prophet clearly says that it is better to take the rukhsa. He will say, example. Now, in any case.
One question, do you get reward for taking it?
Yes.
And is it the same if you don't take it?
No. If you don't take it, you get rewarded because you are fasting Ramadan. But it is better to...
In terms of praying, if you're in Safar, and you do the 4 rak'ahs and someone does 2,
he is better. Of course, the one who does 2 is better than the one who does 4.
So it's more reward to do.
The more rewarding to do 2.
Alright, so you get the reward of the prayer and the reward of the rukhsa.
Yes. So you get the reward of the prayer and the reward of the rukhsa. Okay.
It's more rewarded than normal one.
Yes, the Prophet said that if you take it, it's better. And if you don't
So
take
if
it...
you fast and you do only 4 days a month, it's more rewarded than 1 day not, 1 day not.
No, that has nothing to do with rukhsa. We've spoken about this to explain, actually, that was not rukhsa the way the Prophet means rukhsa.
Oh, yeah. It's also the guy made the rukhsa.
Yeah, call it rukhsa.
Yeah, okay.
So here we say, now first thing, he say the choice between taking the rukhsa and leaving it, whether you take it or, so the first degree is taking it or leave it. And he give an example. He say, al-fitr al-musafir, not fasting for the traveler, while it is, when he say, عند استواء حاله, he say, when his state is the same. Like if he fasts, it won't harm him. If he doesn't fast, it doesn't give him strength. It's the same, whether he fasts or not. So he said, in this case, it is the choice whether to take it or not. It will not be preferable or anything. It's the same. And then he said, he can fast or not fast with no preferences. He says, the way Hamza ibn Amr al-Aslami, when he asked the Prophet, should I fast in the travel? And he used to fast a lot. He said, if you want, fast. If you don't want, don't fast. That's what Aisha said of this hadith. However, so if you want fast or you don't want fast, it's fine. The Prophet said that. But he didn't only say that. Because there is hadith in Muslim, also from the same man, Hamza ibn Amr al-Aslami, where he said that the Prophet told me, it is a rukhsa from Allah. So whoever takes it, it's better. If he doesn't, there is no harm. So this is what the Prophet said. He told him, it is rukhsa from Allah. If you take it, it's better. If not, there is no harm. If you want fast, if you don't want fast. So Hamza bin Amr said some what the Prophet told him, and Aisha said some of what the Prophet has said. Sometimes we find the hadith it is not necessary. The Sahabi will tell us only what he thinks it's relevant. You understand? So he said the part of the hadith, another Sahabi say part of the hadith.
But not a full hadith.
No, you will never find, almost never find,
A full hadith.
a hadith that will give you, one hadith will give you everything. And go and find for me hadith that describes the prayer from the beginning to the end.
Oh, so no.
One Sahabi will say, I saw the Prophet doing rukhsa this way. Another one says he does sujood this way. Another person will say he recited this way. You understand? And then put them together, you get to the prayer. No? You get the picture of the prayer.
Would you get a Sahabi describing each different move in a different hadith?
Yeah, sometimes you will find the same Sahabi.
Doing a different...
Yeah, sometimes people ask him, how do you do tashahud? So he talks about tashahud. Another person asks him about recitation. He will mention, you understand? He is just talking about people because prayer, people have been praying. And then the people have seen the people praying. So he might speak about something, the mistakes that he sees around. He saw the people praying in fine, but they did mistake while standing, so he speaks about standing. Another person sees someone doing mistake about tashahud, so he will talk about tashahud. You understand? The same thing, the Sahabi doesn't have to say the whole hadith. He heard the Prophet, he will hear some part of the saying. Another person, sometimes the Prophet will say a speech, long speech. Not everybody will memorize it. So one will memorize the phrase, another person will memorize phrase, and every phrase of this hadith has makes a rule by itself. You understand? It doesn't matter which one he said first. This rule speaks about fasting, this rule speaks about zakat, so you take every phrase and use it the way it should be.
Can you give us the example of hadith Umar?
What's Umar?
When he had
Okay, when you remember, tell me. The second example. So the first was the choice between taking rukhsa and not. There is no such thing in rukhsa. The second is تفضيل الأخذ بالرخصة. Better, yes.
The first daraja, taking and leaving. You said there's no.
There is no rukhsa that is fine whether you take it or not. The rukhsa, all rukhsas, it's better to take it.
No.
Now the second, he said, now it's the preference to take the rukhsa. So the first one is are equal. That doesn't. He gave an example. We don't agree about that example. All the time, it's better to take the rukhsa. That is not. There is no. Even if someone, there is nothing to harm him. Like if he fasts in Ramadan, there is nothing. It's not like it won't harm him at all. Still, it's better for him to leave it for another day. If he want to not fast, if he want to fast, he can. But it's better for him not to. The second, الثانية تفضيل الأخذ بالرخصة. It's better to take the rukhsa, the second degree. Now the first degree is when they are equal, which does exist. The second one, it's better to take the rukhsa. That is right. So he said, for example, قصر الصلاة في السفر, shortening the prayer in travel. It is a rukhsa that the Prophet have done it all the time, in all travels. He said, even though, to the point where there is no hadith sahih that says that the Prophet has completed his prayer in travel. Doesn't exist. So the Prophet used always to, he always used to shorten his prayer. He says, and this mudawama, the fact that he did it all the time, it shows that it is better to take the rukhsa. The fact that he did that doesn't show. No? Because these people, they take the action of the Prophet, they give it the degree of his saying, which is not true. If you want to use your intellect, then we can understand clearly why the Prophet has done the Rukhsa 2 rak'ah, and he did not do Rukhsa in fasting. Because he can fast, and the people don't have to fast with him. Because they don't fast in a group, they fast individually. But if he continued his prayer, then he was the leader of the prayer. So people behind him will have to pray full prayer.
So fasting will be a personal choice.
That is, while he is fasting, everybody else don't have to fast. And we know that it was special for him to fast actually sometimes, that he will fast 3-4 days continuously.
It's called Wisal.
Wisal.
No.
So, but how did the Prophet used to fast, like, how many days a week?
No, that's,
Not every week?
no, we are talking about special month of Ramadan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm not talking about voluntary fasting. We are talking about the obligation fasting, which comes once a year in Ramadan. So that is, he sometimes will fast 3 days continuously, or 4. So that was clearly shows that it was special for him, because he forbade other people from doing it. He was angry with the people who tried to do the same thing.
In Ramadan,
No, in Ramadan or out of
If
Ramadan.
you do it, it's haram.
It's haram to fast 2 days in a row.
It's haram.
Haram, forbidden.
Yeah,
You should hasten to break your fasting.
It is better to hasten, but if if really you are going to do it, then you can, you have the option to do it up till Fajr. Like let's say someone has been fasting from this morning Fajr, and he doesn't want to break his fast now, even though it's Maghrib. He can wait until Fajr, just before Fajr, and break his fast. It is forbidden to go to fast more than what we call 24 hours.
what's that called?
So,
Yeah. So the Prophet said, "La tuwasil." Don't do wisal. Don't fast continuously. If someone really want to do it, then until Fajr.
And you get a reward for that. Is that
No, actually he will get less reward from the one who break his fast. Yeah.
I have a question. If you want to fast not in Ramadan, how does the Prophet take it?
Just normal, exactly like the Ramadan.
Like one day?
No, the Prophet, there is no, the Prophet, yeah, he used to,
Prophet used to fast on
Monday and Thursday,
yeah.
week, he used to fast 3 days,
So what?
3 days a month.
2 days a month?
Yeah.
That's it?
Yeah.
Okay.
the 2 or 3.
So if you would do 3 days a month, or you would do one day not, one day not,
It is better,
would you get bigger reward for it?
if you think that you can keep this 1 day and 1 day not, then it is bigger reward.
But if you break it and you go back to the normal, then you get less reward.
Yes.
Because you stopped it, you know?
Yeah, it's not good to do something and then leave it.
So, okay.
Yeah.
So better 3 or 4 days.
Better you do something that you can continuously do, such as 1 day a month. Will be better than 2 days this month and nothing next month.
So, in terms of that, do you get more reward than doing 1 day a month
Yeah.
than doing 1 day and 1 day off, and then after a month you leave and then you wait until next year?
No, it's not good. The Prophet was told about people who do stuff like extra stuff. They are very hard on themselves. He will encourage people to do good things. No, he will encourage people to do good things. When he say, whoever prostrates to Allah 1 time, Allah will elevate him 1 degree. That is encouraging people to do as much as they can. You understand? But he will also say to the people that the best deeds to Allah are those that are constant kept, rather than and constant, even if it's little, rather than doing a lot and nothing later. So it's better to pray 2 rak'ah every day for ever, like as long as you are living. Not from the obligation you have to pray extra, rather than praying 10 today, 5 tomorrow, nothing after tomorrow. You understand?
Yeah, question. Does the Prophet do like 2 rakats before prayer and 2 rakats after prayer, right?
Yes.
And then the closing prayer is called witr.
Yes, that is after the night prayer.
This is one.
No, he did not used to pray 2 rak'ah before prayer and for every prayer. He used to pray 2 rak'ah, 4 rak'ah before Dhuhr, 2 after Dhuhr, nothing before Asr, nothing after Asr, nothing before Maghrib, nothing, 2 after Maghrib, nothing before Isha, 2 after Isha, 2 before Fajr, and nothing after Fajr.
And because they told me 2 after Isha and then you have to do 1 closing prayer.
Yes, that is witr.
I was asking that they told me like it's for 2 always 2 minutes before and 2 minutes after every prayer.
No, not true.
I was doing this like all the time.
No, after prayer you can't. After prayer actually you can't.
After Fajr.
After Fajr and Asr, it's forbidden to do that. No, between Dhuhr and sunrise. Before Fajr morning prayer, before the obligation morning prayer and sunrise, you can't pray at all.
That's if he tried to pray.
Yeah, but if he tried. But he is trying. That's what he is trying. It's not like for no reason.
But you're allowed to make up if you used to pray.
Yeah.
Two
So I cannot do 3 minutes before and after evening prayer and after prayer.
After prayer and the Fajr prayer you have. The other prayer is fine.
Okay.
Yeah. No, that is definitely, he didn't know how to put it to you. That is something that you see, even we still have some differences in opinions, but that is one thing that you won't find like different opinion about. You understand? Because the hadith are so, the saying of the Prophet regarding that matter are so clear that you should not pray after the it's called Asr prayer, afternoon prayer, and Fajr prayer. The hadith are so clear from the Prophet. Morning prayer.
But after the morning you cannot do like zakah.
Afterwards you can't pray. You pray what you pray with the Jama'ah, the prayer, the obligation prayer. When you have prayed that, finish the prayer. So he said this is the madhab of the majority of the ulama regarding the shortening of the prayer in the travel. That it is a sunnah. That is contrary to those who contradict it, who take it as obligation.
Yeah.
So he is talking about sunnah here. So he said, traveling, it's better to do 2 rak'ah. Now he is talking sense here because it's rukhsa, so it's better to do it 2 rak'ah. He said, and his dalil for that, his proof for that is that the Prophet continuously did it. It's not rather no, it is not because the ayah of the Prophet, where did he get that from? Why did he do it, continuously do it? He continuously did it because of the saying, his saying, because of that, because that is wahy from Allah. You see these people who say the action of the Prophet by itself, it makes religion. The action of the Prophet itself makes a religion. We say the action of the Prophet is not religion unless it is an explanation of the religion by itself. It's not religion at all. I mean, it helps you understand the religion, yes. But
so could you say that action of the Prophet is sunnah?
No, it isn't.
It's only the manual, no?
Huh?
It's more like the manual. It's like more like the thing. It's like to look up to
No, but if he says pray the way you see me praying, what made that prayer following him in prayer obligation? Is it the fact that he prayed, or because he said because he said pray? But now if he does something and he does never speak about it, he just did it.
Sometimes he found other people copying him and you get angry as well.
Yes, that is clearly, especially when he says something and he does the opposite.
Yeah.
But you see, when someone says, "Oh, the action of the Prophet are obligation or religion by itself," you see, these contradict the fact that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, "Ya ayyuha ar-rasul, balligh ma unzila ilayka min rabbik, wa in lam taf'al fama ballaghta risalah." O Prophet, O Messenger, convey the message that has been given to you. If you don't, then you have not conveyed the message. You understand? Now, if
people say that his actions are conveying it.
No, how can it convey? Now, if someone, let's say, I will ask him, could you please go to these people and tell them to fast? And then he goes and stops, and he doesn't eat, and doesn't drink, and doesn't. Did he tell them anything?
No.
He didn't say anything. He didn't give conveying the message. So how can people understand what he is doing? Or if I tell him, go and tell these people to pray, and then he starts going down and up. People say, maybe he's doing some exercise or something. You understand? An action by itself, it can't be.
What surah is that?
Surah Al-Ma'idah. Now, look at this hadith here. He gathered from the fact that Prophet over the years, in 10 years, did not pray prayerfully, that he shortened the prayer in 10 years. That is what convinced him that doing the prayer, shortening the prayer, is a sunnah. Shortening the prayer is better. How did he come to that conclusion? Because the Prophet over 10 years never prayed the prayer full, while in trouble. Okay. Can you understand that the Prophet whom Allah have ordered to convey the message will convey the message in 10 years? I mean, he looked at what he did in 10 years. So it took him, Allah ordered him to say something rather than to go and say it in few words. Oh people, it's better to shorten the prayer. No, he was in over 10 years, he was doing something and people have to wait for 10 years to learn it. You understand? Because he didn't say from the first day. So you have to, so this message here has been conveyed in such a long period. When the Prophet, anything that is revealed to him, he is supposed to say it straight away, in a clear way, that people will understand it. Yeah. If someone is revealed to him, he will have to say it straight away. That is take us another matter. When the Prophet, when Allah ordered us to do something, how long you can wait to do it?
Right away.
Huh?
Should do it right away.
If someone says you don't have to do it straight away, tell him how long. You understand? If someone says you don't have to do it straight away, if Allah says do this, he say no, you don't have to do it straight away. You can wait. So I wait for a year, for 2, for 3, for 4.
You probably say the problem.
Huh?
If anything, this is it. But if it was like, if in case if not like, if the Prophet didn't do it to a certain time.
Okay, for how long? Certain time.
Most of people tend to come out with that.
I will give you an example. I'll give you an example. Yeah, what about Mecca? Did Allah tell the people in Mecca do something and then he waited?
That always is an excuse where they say like, oh, when the Prophet was in Mecca, he didn't have the power.
When the Prophet was in Mecca, Allah didn't order him some things, and then he didn't do them. When he went to Medina, Allah ordered him to do things, and he did them. Whatever Allah ordered him to do in Mecca, he did it in Mecca. He didn't delay it until he went to Medina. Now we have the deen is completed, the religion is completed. So you are not, if someone tells you, I am in the first year of Mecca, tell him when in the first year of Mecca, then there was no prayer, so you should stop praying.
Now they tend to say like, oh, the Prophet didn't have that strength.
Yeah.
Military strength to back up what he was doing.
Yeah, yes, but still Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ordered him things to do in time. Today is still valid that if we don't have the strength to do something, فَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ مَا اسْتَطَعْتُمْ. Keep your duty to Allah as much as you can. So if you can't, you don't have to do it if you can't. It's not if you don't want to. You understand? But if you can, then you have to do it. You don't have to start counting. Today, I will start today Mecca, and then I have to wait for 8 years because the pray, and then I start praying because the Prophet started praying only after 8 years, and then I will keep drinking alcohol until the 13th year or something. You understand? That is invalid. If the Prophet orders something, you see, if Allah ordered us Hajj, وَلِلَّهِ عَلَى النَّاسِ حَجُّ الْبَيْتِ, it is an obligation to do Hajj. When is an obligation to do Hajj?
When you go on the month of Hajj. The
month of Hajj, but when? Okay, if I can do Hajj this year, next year, third year, you understand? As soon as you can. As soon as you are able to do it. It's not
as soon as you're ready to do it.
Able to do it.
Able.
Yeah.
Able to do it.
Someone who has everything. he has the money,
funds, the ability.
and he has the time, like he is not, has no duties toward others. No, having duty toward your parents, for example, you have nobody to look after them or your children, and you have the money that is your money, because the money that you have to spend on your children is not your money. It is your children money. Yeah, you have duty towards your children. That money that you spend on them, that you work for and get and spend on your children, that is not your money. That is your children money. That is your wife's money. So I'm not going to do Hajj with your other people's money. You are going to do it with your money. So if you have enough for the children and for the wife, who you have to look after, and then you have extra above the expenses that you need, that can take you safely to Mecca and come back, then you have to do Hajj. Not, I'm not going to do it this year, or you have to do it the first year. If you don't do it, you are doing a sin. I mean, you still have to do it later, but it's a sin not to do it. That is the contrary to the madhab of Shafi'i. Shafi'i, for example, say you don't have to do Hajj straight away. You understand? Shafi'i say a person can delay Hajj. But then you can ask the Shafi'i this question. A person who did not do Hajj straight away when he could, and he died, you can ask him first, how long can he delay? If he say 1 year, tell him, okay, what about 2? I mean, yeah, if he says you can delay 1 year, I can't this year, but I'm not going to do it until next year. So if Shafi'i gives you permission for 1 year, we say, why don't you give him permission for 2? And 3 and 4. If he says 4 is fine, 5 is not. You say, what is the difference? From your head, you just make different decisions like this? You have to explain. And nobody will have explanation for this. Now, if he says, yeah, it's fine, you can delay as long as you want. Okay, we say, if this person dies then, will Allah ask him about why he didn't do Hajj? Shafi'i will say, yes, Allah will ask him why he didn't do Hajj. And then we say, okay, he will say, Shafi'i told me not to. You understand? If he says, no, Allah will not ask him about why you didn't do Hajj. Allah will ask him, why did you die before you do Hajj? We say, nobody is asked why he died, because nobody kills himself, he dies. You understand? The truth is, an order, you have to do it straight away. Whenever you're able. Yeah, whenever you are able. If there is something, unless there is a specific time. Prayer, there is a specific time, you have to do it in that time. Fasting, it has specific time, you do it in that time. Hajj, it has specific time, yes, but then you have to do it once. When? As soon as possible.
One question, sir.
Yes.
You mentioned about regarding other people having the haq on you, like your children, and having the right on you. So what about in the hadith of the thing between Umar and Abu Bakr when they were going to give their wealth, and Abu Bakr
we are going to go from one matter to another. I am going to answer that question, but we should try to stick to the hadith. Look, the hadith of Abu Bakr, even if you have no children, even if you have no children, it's not a question of having children and you have to give them the right. The children definitely have a right. You understand? Because the Prophet ordered, كلكم راع وكلكم مسؤول عن رعيته. Every one of you is responsible or shepherd, or responsible for his what he is looking after. So that is the man is responsible on his family, on the people of his household. That is his wife and children. That is their right. That is clearly their right. Why? Because the Prophet was asked, people used to come to the Prophet and give him charity, money. He will say, "Ibda binafsika." Start with yourself. Tasaddaq alayha. Give. Start with yourself. And then whatever is left, your wife, your children. So this is these people first responsibility. You don't go and give other people when you are in need yourself. So that is clear hadith. That is not only that. Actually, if you have wealth, the maximum you can spend from that wealth giving away is the third. That is clear from the hadith where Sa'd ibn Abi Waqqas wanted to give his property for the Prophet to distribute. He said no. He said, let me give my property. I don't have anyone to inherit me except my daughter, except one daughter, and he was very rich. The Prophet said, no, you can't give your property. He said, okay, I give the half. He said, no. He said the third. He said the third, and the third actually is too much, because to leave your children or your family rich, better than leaving them going to ask people. So, and he used to, every time someone comes to give his property, he will refuse. Now we are telling about the hadith of Abu Bakr and Umar. That hadith is weak, because that hadith is the narration of Sha'bi, that something happened, like the Prophet asked people to give charity, and Sha'bi, who is Sha'bi? Sha'bi is Tabi'i, trustworthy. However, he is saying a story that he was not there. This story happened, he was not even born. When he was born, he was 8 when Ali died. Sha'bi, he was 8 when Ali ibn Abi Talib died. That is 40 years after the death of the Prophet. So what happened, this story between the Prophet and Abu Bakr? He was not there. So we don't know where he got it from. Therefore, we can't take it. You understand? And this, even if this hadith is sahih, okay, Abu Bakr came and gave all his property. Did you hear about Abu Bakr one day going in the street with his family without clothes on in the street? Have you heard about this? This will be giving all his property, giving his house, because someone might have a palace worth $1 billion and cash 1,000 pounds, and he gave away that 1,000 pounds. Did he give all his property? Oh, he has a palace. If he sell it now for 1 billion pounds. So that is not giving all your property. That is, you understand? So if Abu Bakr, for example, have given all the cash that he had, he still had a house, he still had food at home, he still had clothes on. Sometimes you have clothes that are worth than all the cash that you have.
Doesn't that hadith also say that he was asked, what did you leave for your wife?
Allah and his Prophet. Well, what about the clothes he was wearing? Huh? That hadith will not be in Muslim forever. That hadith you will find it in the book of stories.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah, people say it, but not every hadith. That is very famous hadith, but you will not find it in a Sahih book. Okay, so he said when he gave an example about the rukhsa being better to take the rukhsa, the second degree is better to take the rukhsa rather than to leave it. And then he mentioned this.
Brother, can you please stick to the book?
Yes.
If you keep going on, come with us
Yeah. So what happens here? He says to give to the example he has given about regarding taking the rukhsa, better not to take it, is the shortening of the prayer. But he will say this according to those who take the shortening of the prayer to be a rukhsa. Because some people don't consider shortening the prayer to be rukhsa. Some people, such as the Hanaf and Zahiris, say shortening the prayer is an obligation. You understand? The hadith or the Hanaf and Ibn Hazm, for example, he say if you are traveling, you have no choice except to pray 2 rak'ah. If you pray 4 rak'ah, you are doing something haram. Your prayer is invalid. Yes.
Where did they get this from?
They get it from this. They get it from the hadith of Aisha and Ibn Abbas. That the Prophet, the prayer originally, the hadith of Aisha say the prayer originally was 2 rak'ah. And then the prayer of the traveler stayed the way it is. The prayer of the resident was increased. Now if originally the prayer was 2 rak'ah, it's like Fajr prayer is 2 rak'ah. If you pray 4 rak'ah Fajr, what happens? Your prayer is invalid. You can't just go and add from your head. That hadith is in Bukhari from Aisha. However, was Aisha, who told Aisha the prayer started as 2? Did the Prophet tell her that? Was she actually there when the prayer started, was revealed, when the prayer started? How old was Aisha? She was not there, she was a baby. Not to a point where she can understand. And then she didn't say that the Prophet told her that, so we can't take it. Ibn Abbas also said something similar. He said the prayer is 4 rak'ah for the resident and 2 rak'ah for the traveler. But was Ibn Abbas there as well? Ibn Abbas, after the prayer became obligation, 3 years later Ibn Abbas was born. We don't know where he comes to this conclusion. So those people who say it is an obligation to shorten the prayers have no proof. The Quran clearly says, وَإِذَا ضَرَبْتُمْ فِي الْأَرْضِ فَلَيْسَ عَلَيْكُمْ جُنَاحٌ أَن تَقْصُرُوا مِنَ الصَّلَاةِ. If you are traveling, there is no harm on you to shorten the prayer.
So that means you shorten it to 1 rak'ah.
No, that is what the ayah says, and that is what the Prophet explained. He said, pray the way he's praying, and he shortened the prayer to 2 rak'ah. Now, the third.
Regarding the fasting, do they also say it's an obligation?
Ibn Hazm say it's an obligation.
To leave the fasting?
Yes, Ibn Hazm say it's an obligation.
And then he knows in that.
He says if you fast in Ramadan, your fasting is invalid and you have to do it another day if you are traveling. So, now the third degree. He says تفضيل ترك الرخصة. Now it is better not to when it's better not to take the rukhsa. So that is the third degree. He say example for that, احتمال الأذى في الله. To take support. Is it support in the, what is the word? I mean احتمال الأذى. I mean even though you are harmed, for the sake of Allah, you still take it. You don't give up. You see, the religion say, إِلَّا مَنْ كَفَرَ بِاللَّهِ مِنْ بَعْدِ إِيمَانِ. Someone who come to you and say, if you don't now insult the Prophet, which is insulting the Prophet, is getting out of Islam, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Now, if someone comes to you and say, if you don't insult him, I'm going to shoot you. Huh? No, what he's saying here is that it is better. It is better not to accept to be harmed rather than. Huh? Huh?
In this case, it's an obligation.
It's better
to what?
Than like insult the Prophet, right?
It's an obligation.
No. This time it becomes a necessity, and it will save your life.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, من كفر بالله من بعد إيمانه. Whoever becomes a kafir after his iman. إلا من أكره وقلبه مطمئن بالإيمان. Whoever chooses to become up to disbelief after his belief, except in case where he has been forced to. So now, when we say, of course, you have the hadith, which is very, very famous hadith for Ammar ibn Yasir, which is weak. That the kuffar took him and told him, insult the Prophet, we will kill you. So he insulted the Prophet. So then he went to the Prophet and asked him. And he told him, I have done something very big, which the Prophet told him, no. He told him, I assaulted you. The Prophet said, according to this hadith, which is weak actually, he said, if they return. Like if they say again, if they try to force you again, then do whatever they like. Like say it with your mouth. Doesn't mean I'm saying it with your mouth, not with your heart. In your heart, you do still believe. I mean, if you choose not to disbelieve with your heart, that is, your heart, nobody is able to control it. But your body, it's possible. Nobody can see in your heart. You understand? So you can show them that you are something which you are not. Because you are forced now. They are going to shoot you, to kill you, to torture you. Yeah. So here, this hadith, even though it's weak, if this hadith was sahih, it will be an obligation to say what they want.
No.
You understand? However, we go back to is it kufr to say something that you don't believe? I mean, if someone starts insulting the Prophet for no reason, you are just going to say, why is he insulting him? You understand? Of course, you are going to decide. We have to judge people from their actions. Now, if we see someone insulting the Prophet, we are going to ask him first, why are you doing that? We see if he can bring a valid explanation. According to this ayah, you might think that, oh, the only valid explanation is if he has been forced to. That's what the ayah says, إِلَّا مِنْ أُكْرِهَا. But that's not, that is istithna here, what we call exception here, that exception is not really an exception. Allah has not permitted someone to do kufr at any cost. But kufr, it will never be with the mouth alone. It has to be with the mouth and the heart. You see when Allah says, فَسَجَدَ الْمَلَائِكَةُ كُلُّهُمْ أَجْمَعُونَ إِلَّا إِبْلِيسِ. The all malaika have prostrated except Iblis. Is Iblis malaika? He is not. So that is not exception from when Allah says, إِلَّا مِنْ أُكْرِهَا وَقَلْبُهُ مُطْمَئِنٌ بِالْإِيمَانِ. Doesn't mean that someone who is forced to say something and he said it and it was not in his heart, that it is kufr which is allowed. No, the kufr is not allowed at any point, at any cost. Even just the mouth. That is, the mouth by itself can never make someone kafir. Can you think of any? I'll give you an example now. You see someone who has been doing, someone who was kafir. He hated the religion. And then every time he wants to swear, he will swear like religion. He will say religion is like this and this and this. It's kufr. So he was kafir. Then he became Muslim. Now every time he gets angry, his tongue will slip. Because every time he is used to this. Every time he gets angry, he says these words. Do you consider this person to be kafir? Some people, yes, some people will. The Saudis definitely will do it. You see this man, there is a man. No, I mean, no, it's not question. That is their madhab. That's what they believe. I give you an example here. You see the man, the Prophet said the man who was traveling and he lost his camel in the desert. Yeah. He lost his camel in the desert and then he thought that he was going to die. He looked for it, he couldn't find it. So he came and lied down, waiting for death because his camel is lost. He is in the middle of the desert, he can't walk, his food is lost, his water is lost. He is going to die. So he went to sleep. When he went to sleep, he woke up, he found his camel next to his head. So the Prophet says, then he said, oh Allah, you are my slave, I am your Lord. Look at these words. You are my slave, I am your Lord. Is this insulting? Yeah. This is insulting. But this man, he said, he made a mistake because of his happiness. He was so happy. He wants to say something, he says something different. And he was actually praising this man. He didn't mean it, he wanted to say something. With his mouth, he wanted to say something. You understand? With his heart, he said it. I couldn't express it. But with his mouth, he said something that, is this person covered? No. He didn't mean it. So he just turned the words around. Yeah. So that is not, it's not possible to someone to be a kafir just by saying something, or the person has to be, yes, it has to be mouth and heart.
Sahabi, the man who he's making fun of the Prophet and the Sahaba, and Allah revealed, make no excuse.
Made fun of the Prophet. What was his reason? Why did he make fun of the Prophet? What is his reason?
No, I'm asking.
Yeah,
like about
people were making fun of the Prophet and the religion. Yeah. Why did they make fun of the religion? What is worshipping?
By obeying.
Worshipping is to obey Allah, not to make fun of Him. You understand? Now, Allah says something and someone will make fun of Him. Yeah. That is worshipping?
No, it's not.
That is not worshipping. So he has broken the first thing, La ilaha illallah, I don't worship except Allah, has broken it. But this person, he say it with knowingly for wanted to say it and he is happy about saying it, or he was forced, or he made a mistake, or he was forced to, or he was drunk and he said it, or he was asleep.
He disbelieved after you believe.
Definitely, if someone chooses to say it with his heart, he say it and he's disbeliever. Subhanallah, someone who makes fun of Allah. That is negating the worship of Allah.
I forgot the story.
Well, it is actually the story that we will find in this ayah, the Surah Bara'ah. قُلْ أَبِ اللَّهِ وَآيَاتِهِ وَرَسُولِهِ. Actually, these people didn't even make fun of Allah and His Prophet. They made fun of the Muslims. They said, oh, we have not seen people like these people. Like when they become Muslims, they just start looking for food, eating, and food. You understand? Now the Prophet had some companions, and he was very poor at the time. People were very poor, and these people who come from other villages, they don't have place in Medina. So what they do? They will go and sleep in the mosque. They have no jobs, they have no work. So whenever they find that occasionally someone invites them, they will go and eat. So whenever you see them in the mosque, they are either praying or someone brings food in the mosque, they start eating. So these people say, what is about these people? Like they don't work. There is nothing to work in. I mean, they have no land, they have nothing. So he says, like,
This is the people of course.
No, the Munafiq hypocrites. They say they were not hypocrites before that. They were Muslims. They have said La ilaha illallah. There was nothing to stop to make them kafir until then. Then when they made this fun of these people, not because of they are not happy with them or personal issues, not because of their religion. So that is making fun of Allah, in fact, fun of His religion. So Allah says, قُلْ أَبِ اللَّهِ وَآيَاتِهِ وَرَسُولِهِ كُنْتُمْ تَسْتَهْزِئُونَ. Is it that Allah and His verses and His Prophet that you mock? لا تعتذروا, don't find excuses. كفرتم بعد إيمانكم. You have become kafir after your belief. لا وكفروا بعد إسلامهم وهموا بما لم ينالوا. This is another ayah.
So anyone who makes fun of Muslims in terms of what they do, they become fun
of their religion, fans of their religion. It's not like making fun of a tribe, of a custom or something.
If a man said, I'm joking, and he got the Prophet's leg, and then the Prophet didn't look at him, he just went,
no, forget about this. That has not said.
Some people do this, like they see you have a beard, and they'll make fun of you.
Now, if this person understands that the beard is part of the religion,
and most people think it's a sunnah.
No. Now, if he is making fun of the religion because it is, and he understands that this is the religion, that person is not a Muslim.
Even though you don't know what's in their heart.
No, he is making it with his heart.
Because he doesn't have no excuse. He has no excuse for him to...
Look, when he is saying it, he chooses to say it. I mean, it's not like his mouth is saying it and his heart. In my heart, I am thinking something else, but I'm talking. So, if there is anything to show that's what is happening, but he is saying it with his mouth only, but in his heart he's still convinced, or he has the belief that this is what he is doing is right. I just saying it for another reason, then definitely you can decide that he is kafir.
What's the ayah that says that?
قل أبي الله Surah Tawbah, Surah Bara'ah at the end. So that is, now he is speaking here. He said if someone is forced to say the word of kufr, he said that is Rukhsa. You understand? That is Rukhsa, not the Rukhsa the way the Prophet defined it. You understand? If someone has been forced to say the kufr, to say the word of kufr, then he has the permission to say it, yes. But that is not, if we make the decision, if we come to the conclusion that this is the rukhsa actually the way the other rukhsas are, then we say to the person it's better to do it.
As in to say it.
Yes, as to say it rather than being patient and get killed for it.
But if you get killed, that means you don't get done. You still get sorry.
No, a person who has been killed for the sake of Allah, I mean, choose to the hard option. You understand? That is, are you going to call this rukhsa? Because if you call it rukhsa, we say not to say what the kuffar are asking you to do it is better than, because that is the definition of the Prophet for rukhsa. Does this come under rukhsa? The Prophet didn't refer to it as that. There are some stuff that are out. He says, for example, let's say go to the fourth example, the fourth degree of taking rukhsa. He says, wujub al-akhd bil-rukhsa, the obligation to take a rukhsa. Now at the beginning it was like fine, and then it was mustahab, it was makruh, and then now it's obligation to take it.
Different case.
Now, his example is to eat dead meat for someone who is in necessity. So he doesn't die. He says because the dead meat has been made haram because of its harm. Now that is his explanation. Dead meat is haram because it harms.
Yeah, this is not how the Prophet explained.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, exactly. Now he said, when it became a way of keeping life, now that there is no other thing to eat, and the only way to keep your life, to keep you alive, is to eat it, he said, now, and dying or getting sick is getting harm. And Allah said, don't kill yourself. That is one of the biggest sins. So he said, you take the less harm than the big harm. You see the way the thing is here, we have a rukhsa from Allah. If you call it rukhsa, meaning easy option. And we have Azeema.
No.
We have an obligation to save our lives. It is forbidden. And it is, we have rukhsa here that contradicts the Azeema. You have to do it, and you have a choice. You see, something, Allah told you to do something. And He gave you a choice to do something or not to do it. Now, when this contradicts this, what happens? No, this is finished. This, because you don't have a choice here. Here you have two choices. One choice doesn't contradict this obligation, one choice will contradict it. It's not a choice anymore. This made it an obligation to eat the dead meat. You understand? It's not a question of trying to put 1 + 1 = 2, or you understand? It's a question of that rukhsa is gone now. You don't have a choice, that choice anymore. You have the order not to kill yourself. You have the order to save your life. So it's not now, you have to take the rukhsa. No, it is, you have to take the Azeema, which is don't kill yourself.
So then doesn't it go back to the third one, like the brother was saying, that if somebody again is forcing you, you have to say it?
Yeah, that is
saving your life.
No, that is in the question of saying kufr or iman.
You have to.
I just am saying, if you come to the conclusion now that is the way people say it, they take the hadith of Ammar ibn Yasir, which is weak.
Yeah.
Then they will have to say that you have no choice except to say the word if you have been forced to say it to save your life. However, that saying the word here, if it was someone killing himself, killing yourself is to kill yourself directly, not when someone kills you.
Okay.
You understand? If someone threatens you to kill you, that is not you killing yourself, is it? There is a difference between pulling the trigger.
So if you it's something that you can help.
Yes, it is something that you can help.
Okay.
If you are in war and run away.
Okay. So no, okay, but still, Allah says, I understand exactly everything you've explained. Allah says, saying out of necessity. No, you said those who disbelieve after the iman.
Except someone who has been forced to.
Okay, someone who's been forced to. No, but you're saying it's still not kufr anyway.
Yeah.
We're not forcing.
Yeah.
So, what I'm saying is you have to.
Yeah.
You're forced to. You have to. This is what I'm saying.
Yeah, if you have been forced to, now it's a question of, I'm not giving you a verdict here, and that's what you want me to do, to tell you.
But this is the way I understand it.
The question
So
is,
I'm asking you because you have more knowledge.
a question upon that.
Yeah.
Is there going to be a sin if you take the harder option? The harder option.
The hard option when it comes to the Pope.
Yeah.
Kufr Iman.
If someone come and tell you,
No, well, that is what I'm trying to avoid to tell you.
No, but the thing is, like, you got to choose which one is the.
I am just explaining to you. I'm just explaining to you that how it is. That taking this option, you have the choice. Allah has given you the permission to take this option. Now, are you going to take it as a permission or to take it as an obligation?
Okay.
You understand? That is what I'm not going to answer today, actually. Anyway.
But
just leaving that in question mark.
Yeah.
but if you don't like, so the ayah says.
إلا من أكره.
Can you repeat the whole ayah? Like?
من كفر بالله من بعد إيمانه. Whoever commits kufr after he has been a believer, إلا من أكره, except someone who has been forced to. وقلبه مطمئن بالإيمان, and his heart is stable with belief, like his heart is in state of stability with
But
Iman.
if you say it,
Yeah.
and your heart is still with Iman, but you did not make a mistake in terms of saying, like, that the person who was in the desert when he lost his camel,
Yeah.
but you saying that you know what you're saying, but it's not affecting your Iman. Does
So
that change?
that man did not know what he was saying actually.
So you know what
He
you're
was
saying.
happy. Now when you are forced, you will know what you are saying, but you are not saying it with your heart. Huh? You are just saying it with your mouth. You don't like it. You understand? When someone forces you to say something, someone tells you say this, and then you are saying it, but you don't want it.
Okay. So
maybe seeing kufr under pressure is رخصة.
It's not kufr anyway.
But to eat dead meat is Azeema.
No, that's what I'm saying. The eating dead meat is Azeema.
if you take it as Rukhsa,
Yeah.
and
In terms of
you choose the harder option,
Yeah.
is that a sin then?
Well, that is not something that, what I'm saying is, when you make the decision, you have to make the decision, is it a rukhsa or Azeema? If you come to the conclusion that it is rukhsa, then you have the choice to say it or not to say it. If you come to the conclusion that it is Azeema to say it, then you have no choice anymore, you have to say it.
You have to make your own.
You have to say it to save your life. That's what I'm saying, and I mentioned the hadith that people rely on, the hadith of Ammar ibn Yasir, and even the hadith which is weak, the hadith says that the Prophet ordered him, if they return, if they come back to you, say it again. But despite that, they still say it. It's better not to say.
Where is this ayah? Where is it?
That is the majority of Muslim Ahmad. The hadith of Muhammad bin Ammar bin Yasir. Muhammad bin Ammar bin Yasir is unknown, and it's mursal. The hadith is mursal. He doesn't say that where he heard it from.
So where is that?
هي طبعا منقطع.
سورة النحل.
منقطع.
لا مرسل. محمد بن عمار بن ياسر التابعي يروي هذا الحديث عن أبي، ليس عن أبيه مباشرة، أنه حصل كذا وكذا، فهو ما كان موجود.
لا شيخ والله من تابع قوال مخطئ.
التابعي إذا روى شيء في وقت الرسول، إذا قال شيء في نفسه من نفسه، إذا قال التابعي أكل الحمار حرام، هذا حديث مقطوع. أما إذا قال التابعي حرم رسول الله أكل لحم الحمار، هذا مرسل. جيد. والمرسل من أقسام الضعيف عند الجمهور، خلافا لأبي حنيفة ومالك وأحمد والشافعي، وهذا خلاف الجمهور سبحان الله. يعني المحدثين when it comes to hadith, they don't accept mursal. That is Bukhari, Muslim, Abu Dawud, Tirmidhi, all the muhaddithin, Zahabi, and this is contrary to the former madhab. Even though they say the majority don't accept hadith mursal. Generally, when the former madhab agree about something, they call it ijma'. But in this matter here about hadith, for example, because of the former madhab, we still say the former madhab here are minority. That is not something that is not usual. Because the former madhab deal with fiqh, not with hadith. So still they say, because the majority of muhaddithin don't accept hadith mursal, which is the saying from the tabi'i directly from the Prophet, and that is broken. Yeah. Okay, so we'll stop here because it's Isha almost. And we are going very slow actually. Like this, I'm not going to finish this book ever.
Any questions?
Yeah. Well, this is, we have to come to this. We have to do this. Next time, inshallah, is we have to go with the book. No questions out of the, yeah, just something that has to do with this matter. You understand?
Yeah.
If any questions out of this matter, we leave it for either when we finish or for another time. Yes? Yeah, because some brothers come from far and they want to finish.
The command was not.
Remember you were talking about we don't take the action of the Prophet.
Yeah.
But what about the people that say, for example, some people use the ayah لكم في الرسول.
قد كان لكم في رسول الله أسوة حسنة لمن كان يرجو الله واليوم الآخر. Yes, it's definitely the Prophet is the best one who can explain religion. So as long as the Prophet has spoken about something and he has done it, you understand? It's better to he said this. The Prophet, for example, he used to do something and people will say, oh, the Prophet Allah has forgiven him, we are not going to do the same thing. And he gets angry. He said, Wallahi inni a'lamukum billahi wa atqakum. He is the most understandable, the best to understand the religion. And he is the most fearful of Allah. So if you have to follow someone, you follow him. Doesn't mean that will not contradict the fact that Allah says, Ya ayyuha rasulu balligh ma unzila ilayka min rabbik. Let's convey the message. Now whatever he has conveyed and he has done, see the way he has done it, he understands it better. You understand? But the thing that he has not conveyed, he has never spoken about, he has just only done them the way, for example, he used to like to eat some kind of food or like to wear some kind of clothes. They have never spoken about it. That has nothing to do with the religion. That ayah doesn't contradict the ayah that says بَلِّغْ مَا أُنزِلَ إِلَيْكَ مِنْ رَبِّكَ. The fact that the Prophet does something, that is custom. He was wearing qamis. Is it sunnah to wear qamis? No. It has nothing to do with sunnah or bid'ah or haram. It's up to you. He wear qamis, you wear what people wear. He used to eat some kind of food. That is what he liked to do. The religion is what he say you have to do, or it is good to do. What he say, not what he does.
Another ayah that there's a duty placed on the messenger.
Yeah.
There's a duty placed on you.
Yeah. فإنما قل أطيعوا الله وأطيعوا الرسول. Say obey Allah and the Prophet. فإن تولوا, if they go back, فإنما عليه ما حمل وعليكم ما حملتم. There is a duty on the Prophet and there is duty on you. His duty sometimes does differ from the duty that your duty.
What about I wanted to ask you, in terms of people who follow, how he look, how he wears, don't you get rewarded in terms of loving the Prophet?
They get reward for loving the Prophet, not reward for wearing qamis.
But what about the beard then?
No, the beard, he said it. He said leave the beard. So that he didn't
Did he say also something about the length of the beard?
No, he didn't. He said leave the beard. That's it. General.
As long as
leave
you
the beard.
don't share everything, it's okay.
Huh?
As long as you don't share everything, it's okay.
No, if he said leave the beard, he didn't say, he said إذا أمرتكم بشيء, leaving the beard, leave the beard, is what we call nahi, forbidding from doing an action, which is shaving or cutting or, so when he says,
It's not like to grow forever, I mean.
well, it depends, it's for to grow forever actually. It depends. Now if his beard is so big that it harms him in a way. I mean, some people will give examples. Oh, what if his beard is like 2 meters or 3 meters? But if someone has beard, that's different. He has a genetic problem, which is this person probably he is sick. You understand? And if he is sick, probably this beard will harm him or something. So when it comes like that, then we talk about it. It's not someone who has a normal beard. Anything that.
Or it's like you can do it, but you also cannot do it.
No, you see, an order from the Prophet is an obligation until proven otherwise.
So it's an obligation.
An order from the Prophet is an obligation until proven otherwise.
What about if you get put into a situation that enable to to put yourself in an easy matter, just to shave your beard? Is this permissible?
Well, that is a question of اتقوا الله ما استطعتم. You do, it's just question of every obligation. You have to do every obligation. When you can't, you can't. You understand? If it's something, if you are going to put yourself into difficulty or into harm, if you are going to do something and this will harm you, then you have permission from Allah, and actually you are not allowed to harm yourself. You understand? Every obligation, you have to do the obligation as long as it's not harmful for you.
But someone's going to harm you. You're not going to harm yourself.
Yeah, someone is going to harm you. That is, you have to. That is what we call darura. Yeah, there is necessity. قد فصل لكم ما حرم عليكم إلا ما اضطررتم إليه. So Allah has explained to you, detailed to you what is forbidden for you, except at the time of necessity. At time of necessity, the haram will become halal. If someone is going to, it is haram to eat swine or ham. But if now, if you are going, by not eating ham, you are going to die or get sick, then you can eat it.
Yeah, you can first.
Please.
Yeah. One question more about responsibility. You said like when you're married, you have to like be able to like take care of your family and life. But when are you like permitted to get married? Imagine you're like in your second year of university, if you do like still 2 years and you want to get married.
No, it's an obligation to get married as soon as possible.
Okay, it's an obligation.
But if you're capable of.
No, because imagine like
If someone is capable, he has to get married as soon as possible.
And what does the capable mean? I want to know.
Capable, he has financially, and he has nothing, no medical reasons to not to get married. I mean, he can get married medically. I mean, he has no problem to stop him from marrying. Yeah, someone who can get married, he is able to get married, and he has the ability financially to spend on his wife, provide for her, but he must get married. يا معشر الشباب من استطاع منكم الباءة فليتزوج. The Prophet said, oh young man, whoever can, then he should get married. Whoever is able, he should get married.
So it becomes an obligation of a person who is able to do it.
Yeah, it is an obligation for a person to get married whenever he can. So if there is a woman that will accept you, for example, and you can, and you have the ability.
Imagine you're like, you want. So imagine you're like, you know, and you're like money, but it's not your money, so you cannot use it for your right, right?
Yeah. Well,
imagine like people get money like from their parents and some money of themselves, but it's not enough like to provide everything. You cannot use the money from parents, right?
Well, of course you can't. Then you can't. If they put money with you and they say this is our money,
yeah, you cannot.
You are permitted to use it in this way. That is not your money.
Yeah.
So you can't now.
That was what I was thinking. Yeah.
Khair, inshallah. We just wait for the Isha prayer. 5 minutes probably.
But you can also do. There's something before marriage also, right? Oh, is that called?
Khutbah.
What can you explain that?
Like getting engaged.
Yeah. What are the rules about that?
No, there is no rules about
You
it.
cannot.
Engagement is not bad.
You can live together with your.
No,
No.
no.
Oh, your brother.
We keep.
No. This guy like in the mall. You're the cop.
It is forbidden.
What is
Marriage.
The contract. He said in different words.
Well, if you do the contract, as soon as you do the contract, whether she contributes with you or she doesn't, you have duties towards her. You have to spend on her. She is your wife.
Okay.
Yeah. That is
What if you become like really ill or like disabled, somebody becomes, and he can't like work, or he becomes for a while, he doesn't know how long.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, ينفق ساعة من ساعته. Everybody has to spend from what Allah has given him. ومن قدر عليه رزقه فلينفق مما آتاه الله. Someone who Allah has not given him, he spends from what Allah has given him. If he has not given him nothing, he spends nothing. He doesn't have to spend. You understand?
And
So yeah.
if you get like engaged, when you have to get married then?
No, you don't have. There is no specific time.
It's not like engaged.
But there's no engagement. No. It's question of you get married and when you can.
But you can get engaged.
Yes, you can get engaged. But there is no. There is engaged. Is not binding.
No.
You can get engaged and change your mind tomorrow.
Yeah.
Or you can change your mind tomorrow. That's not.
Engaged is just talking.
Nothing is different. You are just like any foreigner.
Engagement.
Engagement is just telling them, are you showing your interest?
Yeah.
So probably
It gives you one certain right, that nobody can come and try to marry her as long as she is still as you ask and you are engaged. She has to refuse you first before someone can go and show his access.